I realize I do have a responsibility and accountability to help. All of us do. And if we can spread love, peace, and harmony, the things everyone claim they want, then I'm obligated to do so because I know what it's like. I know what love is. I know what peace and harmony and what that's all about. And it's all an innermost thing. It's all within you. So I hope to help to activate that by sharing some of my experiences and sharing some of my techniques that I've learned over the course of decades, actually, over the course of decades.
Welcome to the Evolution of the Consciousness podcast. Love is spoken here. With your host and guide, Michelle Carithers.
Morning, everybody. Evolution of the Consciousness. Love is spoken here. I'm Michelle Carithers. I hope everybody's doing fantastic, magnificently, and marvelous because I am. I am on this Tuesday, November the 14th, 2023, in the place to be, baby. So, as I've said, throughout my videos and my podcasts and my eventual nonprofit, I want to help those that are interested in evolution of their consciousness, evolving their consciousness. And I also want to, in the process, share my stories, my life experiences, in hopes of, awakening certain experiences in others. I know for a fact, and I'm going to keep saying this, that there are people paying attention to me. They know I'm telling the truth. They know I have value. They know that I'm not attempting to indoctrinate, manipulate, deceive them, that I'm not attempting to take something from them or have a hidden agenda. I make my intentions known from the beginning, and I had to suspend my ego and I had to do things that to be honest with you, I never would have thought I would be doing this, to be honest. I never would have thought that I needed to do this. But after I healed myself from my toxic work environment, I realized I do have a responsibility and accountability to help. All of us do. And if we can spread love, peace, and harmony, the things everyone claim they want, then I'm obligated to do so because I know what it's like. I know what love is. I know what peace and harmony and what that's all about. And it's all an innermost thing. It's all within you. So I hope to help to activate that by sharing some of my experiences and sharing some of my techniques that I've learned over the course of decades, actually, over the course of decades. I'm thankful that I grew up in a community, in a culture that allowed me to experience the complexities of life. Okay, that is nothing simple about certain developing. Okay, developing is not a simple process, by the way. But as you become more managed in your emotions and your feelings and your sensing, and you start to recognize that it is actually a simple process once you filter out all the garbage that we've been consumed with for millions and millions of years. Okay, I notice a lot of people are talking about uh, not a lot of people have been over the decades talking about ETs and aliens, and now they're called foreigners. And that's the reason. There's a reason for that because you have to evolve your conversations. You have to evolve your discussions, your language, your behavior, your actions, so that there's a cohesiveness there. If you're paying attention, which and sadly is not the case because everybody's so busy. And if you really pay attention to these, some that claim that they're busy all day, and we got phones ringing all over the place, and got texts coming in and emails coming in. A lot of that is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors, okay, and it's a lot of redundancy. And I say that from experience. And I'll go into that at another time. But anyway, my point is a lot of us just have to just be grounded in reality and be honest with ourselves that we're not as busy as we say we are. Oh gosh, it just reminds me when I was working in a building. I'm telling you, we were scheduled to work 8 hours, and I was done with everything that I was uh, responsible for completing in 2 hours. Okay, it hasn't changed, and I know that, so I'm not going to go into that. I think it's funny if we all just be very honest with ourselves and just calm down and relax, suspend your ego, and admit that you're wasting a whole lot of time. You're not as busy as you think you are. You just kind of filling in time. You put in fillers, just like what they're doing in our foods. They're just filling it up to make it tastier or whatever, to improve the taste, basically. So anyway, I hear the kids outside. Yeah, they're getting ready to, I guess, walk to school. Some of them are going to be catching the bus. I mean, it's a live. This is a living community, and that's what I grew up with. I grew up in a living community where there was kids playing, there was laughter, there was crying, there was yelling, there was just a lot of activities going on. Kids playing. It was what I'm used to hearing. And smelling of food. The bacon in the morning. The hearing of music, because I told you we grew up playing music in the house. We rarely had the television on. We rarely. So I say all that to say this. It's really important to increase your consumption of information, because I notice with places I go that are popular for me to self-educate myself, they're starting to squeeze knowledge away from us. In other words, hide things. And I feel kind of saddened by that, because there was one particular source I used to go to where I could research anything and get some clear and effective information about it. But I think in the attempt to rid out disinformation or misinformation or information, we always go extreme. We we've we are such we are out of the control of the good human nature with everything, to a point of where we are at a squeeze. And that's why I told you we're at a squeeze where it's like a blood clot. Nothing can go out and nothing can come in, because we're squeezing everything out. We're becoming so extreme. We claim we're protecting people, but I know for a fact that that's not necessarily true. It's about control. All you have to do is just look at the history of what has happened on this planet. It's about controlling people and holding on. And now they've been coming for the brain, for the organic brain, for decades and decades, because a lot of people are attempting to figure out what consciousness is, and they don't understand it's an energy. And so they're gonna just they're gonna do everything in their power to map the brain to see if they can find this energy, and they're not. Okay, energy is invisible, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, I can tell that certain outlets, like I said, that I used to use for my self education there's a squeeze on information now. But I'm thankful that I do have ample sources uh, of places to go to get the accurate and truthful information I need. So I'm good, you know, I'm good. And I'm so thankful as well, and grateful that I was able to recognize by thinking what the truth is and how to discern it. Because, like I said, you have to apply all of your sensing. Okay, what you hear, see, sense, and receive. Is it rational, reasonable, logic? If you apply all of that, are you grounded in reality? Am I hallucinating right now? Am I delusional? What do I hear? Inspect my environment. I do the same. I do this every day till it's affixed within me as a habit, where I don't have to even be concerned about it. while I open myself up more to receive accurate and appropriate information and knowledge. So, so unfortunately, we allowed, these certain powers that be to interfere for so long, for decades upon decades upon decades, where they're squeezing out a lot of abilities to gather appropriate knowledge that's truthful. So our descendants are going to pay for all of this based on our complacency, our ignorance in our behavior, our our foolishness in our behaviors and actions, where we have squandered and will be causing such devastation to our descendants. And they're gonna, I mean, and it's gonna be known too. Let me just make this very clear. This moment in time, it's gonna be known. How is it gonna be known forever within your innermost being and within your subconscious, the essence of it. Okay, or the lack thereof, possibly. It all depends. But this moment in time is going to it's going to be within our storage banks. I've talked about that, and I'll come back to that at a later date. And within our subconscious, and in our conscious, and our unconsciousness. In other words, the essence of everything that we've all been throughout our lives, which is millions of years old, by the way, will be stored forever. Okay, and it will not be, there's no chance of it ever again being lost. Okay, so in other words, the lost will be found. Okay, whatever you seek, you will find. Okay, that's the culmination that we're at. And there's going to be a lot of people left behind, unfortunately, whereas, they're going to just be spinning in an abyss. Okay, I told you, I sense that we've been in a self-created man-made black hole for centuries, for decades, and then we get on this topic now. Everybody's all concerned about UFOs, like I said, and ETs, and even if I say to you, based on what I learned, we've had foreigners, ETs, or extraterrestrials, however you want to classify it, for millions and millions of years. And then you hear people say, well, give me some proof. Give me some proof. Well, there is proof. But, as they say, you only can see what you're willing to see. Okay, I told you it was either it was either late 2022 or early 2023. I said an a UFO could land in the front or the back of the Capitol and no one would see it. Well, let me just say something, and you consider this, and you accept it or you don't. You don't need to. But there's proof that there was there was a UFO that landed on the Capitol, but no one saw it. No one paid attention to it. Okay, so there's proof of that, but because I know that we claim we want to know the truth about things, and we're banging on the tables and banging on the and harassing people and stalking people and claiming you want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. I know the truth. Well, I know for a fact that a lot of you will not be able to handle the truth. A lot will be despondent. Okay, and a lot will. That's why it's so important that you do, as a teacher or as a messenger or whatever you claim yourself to be, you be very strategic and aware of what type of knowledge you're putting out to people. Just like any other good teacher, they don't tell their students everything all at once. They make sure that their students are capturing the basics. And so there's a lot of us that are not capturing the basics, and a lot of us that will not. So these moments in times will be stored forever. And in the future, it's going to be revealed how many millions upon millions of years that were wasted in fantasy, in illusion, in delusion, and how some people have squandered so many opportunities to find the truth and live by the truth. But instead, a lot of people wanted to look up in the sky and have all these fantasies and all these imaginations about someone coming in to save them, and you know, and that's unfortunate when most people that are going to be despondent and may attempt self-harm to themselves or others, they know deep down in their innermost being that they were living in a fantasy and delusion, and they're going to be angry and they're going to have rage and they're going to take it out on themselves and possibly others. And that's unfortunate. So guard yourself, those of you that are attempting help, and those of you that have been working towards helping people for your whole life. You had no hidden agendas, and you knew deep down inside that there was something missing about the information that was told to you, what was told to you in school, what was told to you when you go to certain churches, when you go to certain events, when you go to certain schools. A lot of things just were not clear and effective to you, but you remain steadfast regardless, and you kept churning and churning and churning and striving and striving and striving to get the truth. And a lot of you know it, and that's why you can resonate with me and understand what I'm talking about, and I appreciate that. And you can resonate with others that are doing the same. They're just wanting to wake you up, that's all. Take you out of your trance. No one's here to indoctrinate you, manipulate you, deceive you. It's about love. It's about universal love. And universal love, as I said, is something that I have a purpose and intention for. Now, let me explain before I go about universal love, by the way. A lot of people believe that the universal love means that you need to be all up in people's face, holding hands, singing along, touching people. That's anything but. Universal love is the ability to not interfere in the path someone's taking. Now, what does that mean? That means that I don't need to be touching them unless they want me to. And that's another thing too. Don't just go up holding people, wanting to hug people and touch people without their permission. Okay? Universal love is to be able to have a big picture and at look at the components that are there and see how they are resonating and how they're forming. But at the same time, allow people to be. So that means let them walk the path they sense that is for them. A lot of people are just walking in lines. They're walking in lines, they're following people, they're bothering people, they're harassing people. Okay, that's the sickness and the degeneracy that this most of this planet is faced with. Those of us, like myself and others, who talk of universal love know that means that's hands off. There's no interference there. If that person has a question, that person will come to us, ask a question. We give them the answer as best we can and let them go. We don't hold on to them. We don't interfere with them. We don't attempt to indoctrinate them. We don't attempt to touch them. Attempt to hold on to them, and it's not sticky. It's not gross, and you know. But at the same time, it's a lot of us have a lot to learn about. And yeah, I'm sorry about my phone ringing in the background, but sometimes people just like to call and call and call and call, and I keep my schedule gets a little busy at times. So let me yeah, there we go. I hope that will settle it. No, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. They see that I'm not picking up, but yet they keep calling and calling and calling. That's what we do. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it go to voicemail again. Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and read a little bit more meditation to you. Some meditation or affirmations that a lot of people like to have that kind of stuff to work with and incorporate in their lives, and I like to do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and read some things. Some of these I may repeat because I see the importance of repeating, because that's what it's all about as well. Because we keep forgetting, and that's due to our lifespans. Okay, that's due to our lifespans, and I talked about it. That we are genetically modified human beings, accept it or not. I'm good because, like I said, there are millions of people talking. And if you don't like what I'm talking about, it's so beautiful that you can go and talk and listen to someone else. So that's why I don't mind talking the way I do or putting out the type of information that I put out. But we are genetic. It's going to be revealed in the future that we are genetically modified human beings, which means that the most we can live is at 100. Some go above it, but most people do not. The majority of the people do not even make it to 100 years old. Do the math. See if you can find the data before it's all hidden from you, and decide for yourself. All right, let's read some things, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go handle my business. I'm hungry. I want my coffee on this Tuesday, November the 14th, 2023, on the West Coast, on the east side of town, baby, baby. All right, here we go. Because I respect creation, I respect and value also myself. In every respect, I steer my life myself, and I also like my own results that I create. In my consciousness, the psyche as well as my thoughts and feelings, I am great, friendly, and adverse to every humility. To live by the creational laws is my purpose. The life and the world I view optimistically and make the best out of everything. Constantly, I do my best and will thus succeed in all that is good. I constantly I accept myself and trust in myself. The constant flow of creational laws and recommendations is within me as prosperity, which I actualize. Good living, wealth, and prosperity are within me in the love and happiness and the harmony, peace, and freedom. Everything is abundant in the thoughts and feelings within me to learn abundantly, to help abundantly, and to create abundance. And the last one I'm going to read for today: abundance, positive balance. Thoughts, feelings, and words form the poise of my consciousness. Pour it up. And through which my inner prosperity are expressed. Let me read that again. I was kind of bungling over that. Abundance, positive balance, thoughts, feelings, and words form the poise of my consciousness. That is what's so important there. It forms the poise of my consciousness. So get in the habit, if you choose to speak to yourself. Pray to yourself when you're praying. Do not have a vision of anyone else in your thoughts except you, your face. Okay, a lot of people like to carry their pictures of themselves as young kids. You can do that. There's no issue with that. But I would focus on who you are right now and who you are developing in. Have that picture in front of you and talk to that individual, and let that individual adult, hopefully this is going out to adults. If children happen to pick this up, I hope their parents are paying attention as well, and help to steer their descendants and their children's as well to speak to yourself, speak to your innermost being, speak to your consciousness, and bring that connection back together as one. And not to be like I was when I was a young girl. When I used to look into my bath water, I would see an image of a face there, and I wasn't connecting at all. Well, that took some developing and hard work. I mean, striving, and properly meditating, and cultivating, contemplating. And here I am today. And I'm so thankful for the work I put in to develop myself and how I'm continually to develop. It's a continual process, forever and forever and forever. Okay, so that should give you some constellation. It should calm you down. So speak to you, reach you. Okay, evolution of the consciousness. Love is spoken here. I'm Michelle Carithers.
Thank you so much for listening to the Evolution of the Consciousness podcast. Please make sure to leave us a review. If you wish to ask a question to Michelle, you can leave her an email at msmichellecarithers@gmail.com.